Hello, everybody. Tonight we are going to be doing an Ocarina of Time soundtrack tier list. I've got my Kakariko University Cuckoos, Fighting Cuckoos shirt on. Um, I have some pretty similar categories to what I used on the Mega Man tier list. I did change one, I think. So I've got Supreme, awesome, barely not awesome, cool. I changed to cool enough, just to be clear that it's like, yeah, it's good, but it's not great. Dull are those that are just kind of bland, and then I do have the last category. I didn't have it as errant this time. I've got it as eh. I don't think there's going to be anything that's errant from what I recall from this soundtrack. I could be wrong, but is just those that I don't really like or I wouldn't actively listen to. Um, so we'll see. May not even be anything in there. I have to check. So there's a pretty extensive list here. I bumped it up against this soundtrack I found on YouTube, and it looks pretty close. There were some that were missing in this list. So the blue ones that are terribly captured are by me, that I added in here, and they are the Ocarina songs. So just like the short snippet that you play to travel places in the game. But I thought we'd want to have those in here, so I put them in. Otherwise, I think most of them are there. There are several on here that aren't necessarily in the soundtrack that I found. So I went ahead and found the individual snippets of those songs on their own YouTube video. Hopefully, got all the ads and stuff out of the way, or there won't be any. But if we run into them, I'll try to get through as quick as possible. All right. I know some of these are a little longer than others. I'm going to try to let them play through as much as I can. I don't want to sit here all night listening to each one all the way through, but I'll get through most of it. At least the themes that are longer, I'll try to keep most of it in. So we've got this soundtrack here. It has the timestamps. I'll just use the timestamps to click through, and it'll also give me a decent sense of how long they are and if it's gonna take a while. So the first one we've got is the title theme. How I'm gonna rank? I mean, it probably change. I'll have to move as I go through and calibrate them together. I'll probably overrate some or underrate some to start until I replay it in my head. But I think some of the things I look for, one is just the song good, like catchy. Does it sound good? The second part is, does it fit kind of where it is in the game? And I haven't played in a while. The last I saw was Jackson playing. But I do remember most of the spots. There might be a couple that I don't. But if it fits in the level, if it fits in the area you're in, it kind of helps. And yeah, I think those are the main things. And then if there's something else that I realize I'm rating it on as I go, I'll let you know. But we will get started without further ado with the title theme of Zelda Ocarina of Time, one of the greatest, if not the greatest games of all time still. Very peaceful. Love that little piano riff there. All right, let that one run out a little bit because that is the title to the game. It is very classic, and I should have, I guess, prefaced a little of like what I did. I got this game not all that long when it first came out. I think maybe that Christmas or whatever. Uh, was incredible. I had never played Zelda really before. I played the original on NES. Didn't have the patience for it. I thought it was awesome, but I'm terrible at having patience in those games. And it was one I didn't own, so if I played it, it's like I rented it and didn't go anywhere. And then and it was plus it was hard to get. You would go and it would always be out. They'd have like the little box in the front, and then you'd have the actual cartridge behind it, and you could tell like, oh no, the cartridge is gone, somebody's already rented it. So most of the time it was gone. So actually the one that I played more was the second one, Zelda 2, because it was not as good and it was in a lot of the time. So the first one I played, and then I didn't play any. There are some great games in between. I know on SNES with like Link to the Past and stuff. So this was really my first full exposure, other than like watching the cartoon as well, uh, to Zelda. And the opening was iconic. And this was probably one or two in terms of the most impressive like graphic changes in games. So Mario 64 was my number one for that, because hard to explain how mind-blowing that was when you first turned it on and it's 3D, like was crazy. Um, this though had graphics that just seemed a little like more artistic, and just you felt the depth of the world like you were in it. Now, if you go back and play, you're kind of like, oh, these graphics aren't anything compared to today, of course. But back then, it was incredible what they did. It still is, but it's just a great looking game, and the soundtrack really plays into that. And so the title theme is iconic. It brings me back to when I first played it. I will have it for now, and I might move it up. I'm gonna have it as awesome. I leave it out of Supreme just because I don't want everything to become Supreme. I want to be pretty differentiating here. Um, it is iconic. I do love it, but it's not that complex. It does fit the beginning of the game really well, and you feel like you're getting into it. So I do love that. And I could easily talk myself into Supreme here in a minute once we get going farther. But we'll start there, and we'll go forward. I don't know if these are kind of in order. I think within the game it looks like there might be some that are a little off, but for the most part it's there. All right, let me make sure. So we've got, yeah, Deku Tree coming up, the Deku Tree's theme. This is not when you're inside the Deku Tree, that is a different one down there. So this is the first time you kind of, I think, hear his story or something like that. It's a little foreboding. First time you kind of feel like, no, something's wrong. Okay, had to let it play out because I don't remember if some of these have changes, especially at the end. And I remember him telling the story of going through the problem that we are first to tackle in the game. I It's not my favorite. It's okay. I've got it as probably cool enough. I think it's good for setting the stage. It could have been a lot better. I don't know. I mean, it's not really intended to be a huge music piece. I think it's just supposed to set the stage, and this could change with some variation with the others. So we will see. That one I didn't remember as much from the game. All right, Fairy Navi. Yep, Fairy Navi. So this is when she flies in, I think, to the house. Let me check. very playful, very fun. Like I remember, the flying through, which was awesome, flying through the village and then waking you up. I'll have that one in barely not awesome. I do like how fun it is. It's not like super complex or anything. It does do well for what it's trying to do. But we will see if that sticks there. All right, inside a house or a shop. I don't have shop. Oh, shop's a little farther down. I probably just had those out of order. Yeah, there's inside a house. So I will go ahead and do that one. Okay. Okay, then just kind of repeats. That one gets stuck in my head a lot. I remember that one. I don't. I also don't know if it was, I think it might have been in Majora's Mask as well. They had some of the themes carry over. But yeah, that's one that sticks in my head. I'm gonna have that for now as awesome, just because it is catchy. I always know the theme, like when you're walking into a place that you're gonna hear that one. I like the little subtle like background beats that they do within it. It's pretty cool. Okay, Kokiri Forest. Let's make sure we got that. Yeah. Okay, these two are just the next couple. All right, Kokiri Forest. I like harpsichord sound. Oh man, that I don't think I can go supreme just yet, but it's going to get close. It is just, and part of it is memory, but of just playing. But the first time you walk out and you're in Kokiri Forest and you don't even know how to play these games. I should also say, like, the other thing is you listen to these songs. It's the first time, at least for me, where the music gets complicated, where you start hearing different instruments in games. There could have been other, games or even platforms probably that could do something different at that point. But N64 was really the first one I remember where you start to hear, and this is probably one of those games, the different instruments. And so Kokiri Forest definitely had some of that variation in it, which is really awesome. And awesome is very good on my list. Like it is, they are great songs. Um, Shop is next. Shop. I actually noticed the bass line in this for like the first time. I never really picked up. Oh, catchy as heck. Um, Shop is awesome. It's kind of similar to me as like Inside a House, and I have it above that. Probably a little below the title theme, but it is one of those things. The second you walk in, it almost makes you feel better. Sometimes in the game, you're like getting your butt kicked. You're like, oh, let me just go to a shop or go play a mini game or something, and the music is very uplifting at that point. Battle does not sound like it will be. So let's see. That one, it does not ring a bell in my head what that's gonna be. Okay. Creates a lot of anxiety. Does it go anywhere? It's got a longer runtime. No, okay. A little bit of it. All right. It sounds like it's just. I mean, it might go a little bit more, or have a little bit more variation. That one's a little dull to me. I mean, it's not. It's fine for what it's trying to do, but you'll see that with a lot of games where it's just got the like intense music when you're fighting a boss. That's not very differentiating. Plus, you don't want it to be too. It can't be too like crazy because if you're taking forever to beat the boss and you don't die, like it can get very repetitive. To be that stressful. All right. Okay, we have a different battle down there too. I don't know if we have boss battle as well. Okay, so inside the Deku tree, this is when we're actually going in and starting to adventure a little bit. Very cavernous sounding, like you're in a tree, big tree. This one fit the environment really well because you're kind of not fast enough yet. You're just figuring yourself out. You're trying to climb this giant tree and don't want to be too stressed out. So it's a nice, peaceful track, but a little foreboding too. Okay, I think that's pretty well the gist of that one. Again, oops, and I just clicked the link on accident. We'll go back. We just teased a different one down the road, but let's see. Inside the Deku tree, I've got that one as cool enough. Again, like the Deku tree, higher than that because you're actually in it and doing the the level itself. This was just more of a story song. Okay, well I know that forwarded somewhere, but let's see. Boss battle is there, so back to boss battle. Okay, this one's the more stressful one. Boss battle. So going back, this was the first time as the man, I can't remember the name of it, but the giant spider on the ceiling. Totally remember how much that freaked me out because you have to like look around and then you look up and you see it. It's got like a little eye with like a division symbol looking thing on it, and it drops down. And this was like the first real 3D battle in a sword and shield kind of game for me. So uh, was crazy good. I'll have this in barely not awesome. Probably a little under Fairy Navi just because I don't like Fairy Navi. I remember really quickly. Boss battle, I can remember once I hear it, but it's a little generic comparatively, I think. All right, Hyrule Field main theme. This is when we're venturing out. Got a little of that Zelda overworld. It's all fun and games. Well, first I run into the owl, which I'm sure has to be in here. And then you keep running. It's like, oh, this is great. This is fun. And there's those giant things that come out of the ground and spin at you. That's the first thing that I think killed me, or at least hurt me very badly. But the music was chipper while I was getting killed. Again, a lot of layers and instruments, which is awesome. Do a great job of like giving you the right sense of urgency, but not stressing out too much. Oh yeah, that's that. All right, this one goes on quite a while, but I've heard enough. This one is supreme to me. It's awesome when the game opens up because the first section is really your tutorial stuff, and then you go out into what felt like an incredibly huge open world that isn't comparatively now, but back then it was crazy big and overwhelming almost. All right, now we have Kepora Gabora. I guess this I probably mispronounced that a little bit, but that is the owl who will tell us a story for 45 minutes. Uh, so let's hear that theme. Nice little like harp in the background. Oh, good. Okay, well, at least the music was great instead of the story that you had to deal with. I've got that one in awesome as well. I probably have that mm, just below the title theme. Uh, I don't think you hear it again. Maybe you hear it one time later, but yeah, or a couple times. But it's very good when you hear it the first time, and then it goes, I think, more into the Hyrule field right after you talk to him. All right, now we're going to town. I guess this is Castle Town. Yep. Very catchy, very awesome. Um, Castletown is definitely awesome. I'd probably have it just above Kapora Gabora. Maybe because you hear it more, you go through the town more. Every time you do, it kind of makes you feel good, like you're in town with a bunch of people. That changes after the future, but when you're young, it is very chipper, and that is exciting. All right, Castle Courtyard. Head on the way to see Zelda. Right, and I think that repeats. So a little bit of a simpler theme. Um, it's kind of barely not awesome to me. I would have that above these though, where it's catchy. It's a little simpler. You do remember being in that spot where you got to sneak around and stuff. So it's good. It's just not quite to the tier of some of the others that I think are a little bit more memorable to me. All right, and then we have Princess Zelda's theme. And some of these, I think, were in prior games. If I didn't mention that, that carry over, or at least the similar theme, and then they add to it. I think this is one of them. This is where we get background on Ganon and Zelda, Triforce stuff, I think. Great changes of instruments doing the same themes. Okay, that's supreme. Love the Zelda theme. It's gonna be my top for now. Uh, Very well done in this game. I know it carries forward in other games and stuff, but the arrangement they had here was very good. Lon Lon Ranch. We're headed back out. We're going to see horse people. Little country sounding. And I think that's actually supposed to be singing like a voice in the game. Okay, it keeps repeating kind of a similar theme there. I love the Lon Lon Ranch song. It's very memorable for me. I would probably have it below Hyrule Field, but it's supreme to me. It's very catchy. I get it in my head quite a bit, and I would have it above Kokiri Forest. So we'll see, where it falls in the future. But I do like that one a lot, and it sticks in my head. Kakariko Village, representing Kakariko University. It says there's two themes to this one too, and I don't remember what the difference is, but we'll see. All peaceful until you hit the cuckoos too much and you get attacked. All right, well, it kind of repeats from there. I love the Kakariko Village theme. That is in Supreme as well. I've got it above Lon Lon Ranch. Probably below Hyrule Field. Hyrule's got a little bit of that overworld theme that I like in there. But Kakariko is a very peaceful song. It's very fitting for the town and the way that you navigated it to start. So I like that one a lot. All right, now we're going up to Goron City, I believe. Scroll farther and farther down. All right, Goron City. I always had the little drums, I think. Bongo kind of things. Very unique. think there's a little variation there, but it's pretty much somewhere through there. I've got Goron City. It's honestly not my favorite. It's totally good though. Like it's just it fits the stage. I've got it at the top of barely not awesome. I wouldn't be surprised if I move it above some of these if I think about it. But some of these are still catchy to me. Like even though they're not as complex and repetitive, but they are stick in my head a little bit more. Okay, Lost Woods. Gotta go in the wrong one and then come back out and finally figure out how to go to the right one. And the way that you can tell is because the music. You can hear the music through the right log that you gotta walk through. All right, I could listen to that one forever because it's super catchy, and I did the YouTube problem again. All right. Sorry about that. That's because I'm accidentally hitting that little thing on my desk. All right, Lost Woods is my favorite so far. I know for some reason, or for some people, it might get too annoying and be too catchy in their head, but I like Lost Woods a lot. All right, middle boss battle. Let me make sure I've got that one. Mini boss battle. I would assume that's the same. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, it's kind of similar to the other one. Okay, I mean it's fine again for a boss battle. I've got that one above battle, but they're kind of dull. They're totally fine for what you're doing and fighting, and I know they can't be complex, but it's not something I'd like listen to off to the side. Uh, okay, Dodongo boss battle. So we got yes, we do. All right. Throwing bombs in his mouth. It's got a little variation to it. That's why I'm still playing. Don't remember it like that. Nice little change there. See, I never heard this part because I beat the boss so fast. I'm just kidding. I killed 50 times for it. Okay, it was more interesting once I let it go a bit. I've got it as cool enough. I'd probably have it. That's got a little pace to it too, so I'm going to put it above the Deku tree. I did like the changes it made in the middle there. I will also say these boss battle songs, the best game I ever played in terms of the themes while fighting the boss was Shadow of the Colossus. Just very epic, and that's all you do in the game. There's only like 12 bosses or whatever. I don't remember how many, but you fight them, and they all have these very epic themes, which is awesome. All right, let's make sure again. Zora's Domain is next, and Zora's Domain is next. This one gets carried over a lot. This was in more recent Zelda games too. Don't know if it was in or something similar was in like Link to the Past. Okay, I don't think there's a ton of variation of this one. I love it. I've loved that one forever. I would probably have that in the Supreme category just below Lost Woods for now. And I'm going to pull Lon Lon Ranch down one here. I think that makes sense. And then I'm actually going to pull. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave that there for now. Okay, I keep forgetting to check. Fairy's Fountain. All right, we're going to see the fairy, get stuff. I think the one by the castle was the first one. This one definitely carried over. I think this was in Link to the Past. Okay, repeats, but beautiful. It's awesome in this game. You walk in, there's like a lot of waterfalls or rain or whatever on the side, and they come out, so it's real pretty. This one I've got is an awesome theme. Again, it's like carried over. I know from another one. I've probably got it below Castle Town, right about there. Again, great music in this game, so gonna have a lot that are good. All right, Potion Shop, the little creepy potion shop, maybe. Yeah. Like a sitar sound, maybe. Great drum beat in the back. Okay, that's a little similar probably to like Shop inside the house. That it's not like super complex. I've probably got that in the barely not awesome category, and probably it's a little more iconic to me than these. So I'm gonna put it above Castle. I'm gonna put it above Goron City. I do like the Potion Shop theme. It's not awesome to me, but it's close. All right. Temple of Time. Temple of Time. Very cathedral, church-ish, Gregorian chant kind of deal. Little variation here, I think. Yeah. But not a whole lot. It kind of stays the same. So Temple of Time is another Supreme song to me. It's a great ocarina song as well, but the when you're actually there, it's pretty sweet as well. Oh man, that's a tough one. I probably have it just above Kakariko Village in terms of Supreme. It doesn't have a ton of variation to it, but it can be played a multitude of ways with a lot of different instruments, so it's pretty cool. Ganondorf theme. Ganondorf theme. Missed Master Sword there. I don't. Oh, that's just the short pulling it out. That's not. It's more like a sound snippet. Okay, when he's taking Princess Zelda, I think it's like a cutscene. Okay, so it's just foreboding stuff again. I mean, it's a little dull to me, but it's not bad. It's just doing what it's supposed to do. Again, not. I haven't found anything that's like, oh, that's just terrible. Shouldn't be in the game, or like could have used something different. So far we just got some dulls. Chamber of the Sages. Do we have that one? Yes, we do. Okay. Little like Fairy's Fountain. Okay, yeah, I was trying to remember if it went somewhere. It's a cutscene, and so I can remember like went elsewhere during the cutscene. I've got that in the probably the barely not awesome. I probably have it above potion. Well, no, I'm gonna have it right below potion shop. Uh, it's not to me as iconic or as good as Fairy's Fountain. I mean, it's kind of similar in theme, but I remember Fairy's Fountain a little bit more. Kind of forgot about that scene until it popped into my head what we were doing. Right. So farther down, I forgot to see Chic theme. Chic's theme is next. Okay, Sheik's theme's great. It's repetitive in different parts as Sheik shows up. I've got that as awesome. I've probably got that above Castletown and a little below the title theme. And inside Jabu Jabu. Do we have that one? Maybe we don't have that one. I don't think so, unless I picked it up, and I can always go back and look for it if we need to. And maybe I'll see it. I just didn't catch it. All right, horse race would be the next one then. We do have horse race. It's a good theme for a horse race. I don't know if this is when we were trying to win Epona. Yeah, that's a good one. I've got that probably an awesome as well, and I might adjust these a little bit now that I'm there. Uh, Probably have it below. Uh, it's close. I think I actually have it right below Potion Shop as well. So these don't adjust down just yet. All right, I'll move inside Jabu Jabu down here just so we don't get distracted. Kakariko Theme 2. Do they actually have that? So I didn't know what that was. Oh yeah, they do. Let's see if we can pick out how it's different. Okay, it's a little fuller, I think. Yeah, I mean it's the same theme. It's just a little fuller, I think, in instruments maybe. So I'll have that up at the top, just right next to it, because to me it's the same theme. Windmill Hut. the windmill hut in Kakariko Village. This is sometimes called Song of Storms. Change an instrument. This is the guy with the crank. All right, I might be going a little bit rogue here because I'm sure some people might like it, might not. I've got this probably at the top for now. I love Song of Storms. Very easy to listen to and repeat, but I also love the feeling that it gives during the game. It's like a very kind of morose feeling, a very somber feeling, but it's also like kind of anxious in a way. I think it's a really cool piece of music. It's not as like complex as some of the others, but I think it's probably one of my favorites for sure. Okay, I think we've hit our first Ocarina song, so this one will probably be short. Let's see. Minuet of the Forest. Yeah, it's only going to be like 20 seconds. This is to warp to the forest. These I'm going to have to think about a little different because they are so short. Some of it is how you play it. Like when you play it, does it feel good to play and how you flow because you use these to warp through Hyrule. Minuet of the Forest is very pretty. I do like that song a lot, and I would probably have that if if you extended it out and played it more, up toward right below the title theme. Right. Those Ocarina songs can be good. All right, Forest Temple. We're in the temple. Scary temple. Creepy temple. Pose. Definitely fits the vibe of the stage. Okay. And obviously, it's got to repeat a lot because you're there a long time, so it's not going to have too much craziness to it. It is good. It's not like my favorite, but I would probably have it because I wouldn't remember it super well or be able to like play it in my head. But I do have it at the top of probably Barely Not Awesome. Okay, another Ocarina song. We are traveling using the Bolero of Fire. Oh man, I love Bolero of Fire. I think it's better than Minuet of the Forest to me. I'm gonna put it at the top of Awesome. That's one that if you extended the song and played it for a long time, I think it's really cool theme. Fun to play too. Trying to rack my brain in my head to remember like which buttons. My fingers could probably do it if I had the controller in my hand. All right, Fire Temple sounds right for next. There's a version 1 and version 2. I did have a 2. I don't know if it's actually what it is though. We'll see toward the end. Probably isn't that different like the Kakariko one. And of course, I lose it as soon as I look over here. Again, we're in a temple. It's going to be long. This one's kind of a fire cave feel. Goron sound. It's funny because I keep wanting the Goron theme to kick in, and that's not where we are. It's good because it takes the ominous path. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I doubt it goes too far. I That one to me is again a little bit dull, but it's not. It's got some themes to it that are okay, so it's kind of like in between these two for me. I would not remember it. I'm gonna have it as dull for now because I know we're pretty top heavy, and I think we'll have some in there coming up. Perhaps Ice Cavern. Ice Cavern it is. Feels like an ice cavern. This level was annoying. The spikes floating around, hitting you, sliding, bowls, blowing ice and stuff. So not much to that one. The theme itself is good. It's not bad by any means. It's just kind of like doing its thing. Um, no pun intended. It is cool enough. I would have that toward the top because I do like the sound of it, but it just doesn't have a whole lot to it. Right. Okay. Serenade of Water, another ocarina, short one. Traveling to Lake Hylia. Love that one too. These ocarina songs are really good. Do I have it above Bolero Fire or below? I like Serenade of Water a lot, and I'm going to put it just above. Keep forgetting every time. All right, Water Temple. Everybody's favorite temple. Love to play it for hours on end. Moving water levels up and down and up and down. So you're going to hear plenty of this song. I like that little part there. Yeah. I think the theme for Water Temple definitely outdoes the stage itself. I mean, the stage is fine. It just is awful to play. Sounds dumb, but uh, it's a good theme, and I do like it more than Forest Temple. I wouldn't like put it up in awesome, but I think it's still probably one of the better themes. Got a couple of Ocarina songs coming up. Nocturne of Shadow to go to, is it the graveyard? A little more dire, dour, I guess. I don't like that as much as the other ones, but it is still good. I would probably have that. I'd have it above Water Temple, probably below Inside a House. So I'm going to say Barely Not Awesome on that one. Could change my mind at some point. All right, Prelude of Light. Let's follow it up with another one. From Shadow to Light. That's a tough one because I love the beginning. And I don't know, there might be a time when it plays out in another theme or something that's like longer. The end is kind of trails off into it's okay, but I would probably have that in Barely Not Awesome right above Nocturne of Shadow. Shadow Temple. All right, this one's different from what I recall. Does a pretty good job of being scary, terrifying. Have to use that lens, and if you don't have it on, you run into stuff. Spiders, pits, spikes. Musically, this is not the best one, but I don't think they were trying to make it that. That's just intended to be a very, scary theme for that Shadow Temple, which it is. Um, so I've actually probably, for that sake, got it a little above probably Forest Temple in terms of it being like a good theme for where it fits. So definitely, it's not awesome to me, but it still does what it's supposed to do. Gerudo Valley, or Gerudo, I probably pronounced that wrong. Okay, I could listen to that all day. Um, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. It is an awesome just piece of music, but it can be played like by an actual orchestra and stuff and sound awesome. But within the game, it's great. It fits really well with that like sand desert feel and uh, trying to be on your horse and all that stuff. So shooting your bow and arrow. So it's an awesome song. It's great pacing, has great changes in it. Just really, really well done. Spirit Temple. We get through the desert. We make it to the Spirit Temple. What does it sound like? Okay, kind of a sense of immensity or something at the beginning. Okay, I like what that one's trying to do. I had to listen because I did not remember that one very much. It's good. It's not my favorite. I think it does a good job of being what it's supposed to be. Like you do feel like you're in a sandy area, castle, and all that. Um, it's again probably around these other temples. Fire I don't like as much. These at least have some nuance to them, and I would have it above Forest Temple, and probably below Shadow and Water temples. All right, Requiem of the Spirits, our last Ocarina song. So let's play that one. Actually like how that one ends more than some of the others, but it's not my favorite to start. It is around these others, and I would probably have it by them. Um, it's close to Nocturne of the Shadow, and I'd probably have it just above it, but below the Prelude of Light. All right. We got the Witch Sisters next here. Hopefully. Gotta scroll down. Yeah. Trying to remember, I guess this is when they first come up. Or is this the battle? Uh, didn't remember that one very much. It's awesome. Once I got into it, I didn't even remember that last part there. It was pretty complex. I would have that probably above. It's around Castletown to me. Chic theme. Probably just below Castletown. Castletown's a little more memorable to me. It's not as complex nearly, but pretty pretty close. Make sure we're still in line because some of these. Okay, we're almost hitting the end of this. Then I think we got to find these other videos. So Ganondorf battle should be toward the bottom. Yeah, there's two of them there. So final battles later. Okay, yeah, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. So I guess this is when you're fighting him inside. Okay, I mean it's good enough. I keep accidentally clicking. All right, Ganondorf battle is cool enough. I don't know that it's awesome. I'm not a huge fan of these boss battles. It is better than this boss battle, but I'm gonna bring that one back down um, to cool enough. It's got some cool themes in it. It does well in the game. Like you feel like you're really engaged in that battle, so it is good. It just is a standalone piece of music. Isn't as good as some of the others. All right, was the other one yeah, final battle? So this is the final battle, I guess, when you're up on the castle at the end. Okay, it kind of repeats from that. I was trying to see if it crescendoed. I did not remember that one a whole lot. I mean, I remember the battle, but not that. That one is fine. It's not my favorite. I've probably got that in the dull toward the top. It just doesn't go anywhere for me other than it being kind of stressful as you're playing, which is cool. But the song itself is a little dull. Staff roll we probably have in here. I think they had a couple. So they had Ocarina of Time medley, but that's just the other songs played over and over toward the end of the game. Okay, staff roll probably has some of the themes throughout the game just baked in together. Would probably need to let this one play for a while. Yeah, it's like 7 minutes long. We won't do that. I might click through it a little bit. Let me see how. So 106 to 113. So a little bit of the Zelda theme. Okay, let's see if it goes another direction. So still doing Zelda-ish. Okay, we go to Lost Woods. Okay, I mean it's good. It's the themes from earlier in the game. I'm not going to put it above them because it's a little derivative, but they do a good job of blending them together. I will say, I probably have that in the awesome, but and maybe ahead of shop. It's very beautiful, and I'd love to listen to it. I'm sure, but it's a little repetitive of the other ones, which of course is going to happen at the end of the game. Okay, I think that gets us through those, and then I've got some of these other ones that I realized were missing, and I definitely heard one that was missing was like Ganon's Tower when we were there. I don't remember the underground difference. So the first one I've got here is Tower. Again, hopefully I won't have ads pop up, but we'll see. This is what I remember. And since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and click forward to see if it picks up or changes at all. Okay. Not a whole lot. I kind of remember that. Okay, I'll stop it there. That's one I'd want to listen to more on my own. I've kind of forgot about some of the parts of it. I think it's awesome. I like Ganon's Tower a lot. Um, I'd probably have that up a little bit higher here. It's not as iconic. I'd probably have it like right below Castletown again. But I love Oregon anytime you get that in there. And then it does vary. It was a little slow at the end, and then the end is what I remember where it kind of picks up and goes up and down a little bit. So it's definitely cool. Okay, is this what we are? Yeah, so we're done with that. And then, so this is the underground theme of Ganon's. I don't remember this one. It's a comedy song. I like that little echoing sound. Make sure it doesn't change at the end here. Okay, so it's just, I mean, it's creepy. It is, I wouldn't call it dull. I think it's pretty cool, actually. I will, I personally like it actually better than the boss battle sound because it just sets the stage for where you're at and is a little distinct with the piano, like the deep piano sound. All right, so that's Ganon's castle. That's gone. Escape from Ganon's castle. So this is after we've beaten the boss. Trying to get out. This is obviously extended, so it just loops over. Building there. Okay, I mean it's good for what it's doing. I wouldn't have it as like my favorite. I think I'd have that kind of in the dull section, but toward the top, it's fine. Not my favorite. All right, shooting gallery. I'm surprised that one wasn't in there. I didn't hear it. Just repetitive, but. Do a little bomb shoe balling. Very good. Fits and feels like you're like a carnival, which is awesome. I wouldn't have it as awesome. I wouldn't. I'd probably have it as barely not awesome. It's really good, but it would probably be above these temples for me. Right about there. I don't think it's above those Ocarina songs. I take that back. It is. It is above those. And I would probably have it in a similar category as Inside a House and Shop. So I'm going to put it right there in awesome because it is. It's iconic. I remember it all the time. Okay. Dodongo's Cavern. We got that. Yep. Kind of a temple structure. Right. This one feels very lonely. Very bleak. Okay, I'm going to forward to make sure it's not missing anything here. That one's pretty dull. Like there's just not. And I get that's the intent. I might have that in the section because I just wouldn't listen to it. Like there's nothing to it. It doesn't sound like I need to have something down there probably, so I'll put it there. It's kind of just dull, but I have that category, so I will use it. And I might adjust here in a little bit anyway. All right, mini game. I don't know what that is. Okay. I don't remember this that much. Yeah, that's one of those. If you know it, put it in the comments. I have no idea where that's from in the game, but I'm sure I'm just forgetting. It's a good theme. It's fun. It is fun. And I won't penalize it just because I can't remember it. It again is a little like Shooting Gallery, but this is where I would have it. This would be one that's just below those for me, and then above Water Temple. All right, a few more here. So Ingo's theme. Oh, okay. The Lon Lon Ranch. Feels like Mario 64 slide, doesn't it? Am I misremembering it? It sounds something like that. Maybe I'm misplacing it. Huh. I like the theme from Mario, if that's what it's from. I wouldn't have that as awesome. I think it's just like cool enough. Probably toward the beginning. I like the theme, but again, I feel like I've heard that from Mario. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, this is okay. So this is the second Fire Temple. I don't know. This has a chanting version, but it is from the actual soundtrack. So it says it was taken out of later versions of the game. Not hearing chanting. Oh, maybe when this stuff kicks in. Well, we've heard this. We'll just fast forward a little bit. Oh, that. Did I miss it all? That was creepy as hell. Man, if that's what it was, that's creepy and weird and cool. Better than the other Fire Temple for sure. I'm surprised they did. I mean, I guess it's scary for kids or something. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. If that's the case, I'd have it above the other ones. Uh, Maybe not Water Temple. It fits a little like Shadow Temple. It's got a little bit more of a beat to it than Shadow Temple to me, but it's a similar feel. But yeah, that was pretty cool if that's what it is. All right, Staff Roll 2, which is a long one, I'm sure. Nope, maybe it isn't. Staff Roll 2, Staff Roll 2. Okay, let's hear it. Okay, so there's two other themes. Long listen, I'll do this. Okay, so back to Hyrule Field. Okay. Yeah, we get that Zelda thing. That's why we played the game, to get to this point. exact last note. Okay, staff roll 2 I like better than staff roll 1. Just because it's got the theme in it, and I've got to figure out where I put staff roll 1 so I don't screw it up. But where would I put it, period? That's a good question. So I would probably have it like right below Menu Out of the Forest. I mean, it's got some awesome themes to it, but again, it's just kind of combining stuff. So I wish we would have ended there. Unfortunately, now we missed one, I think, inside Jabu Jabu. So we will click it, see what happens. I'll probably get an ad. We'll see. Ocarina of Time. We'll just do this version. It looks similar to other ones. Oh, maybe not. So in the giant fish's belly. Kind of sounds like he's digesting. This was a weird level. It's a good theme for that level, just to have that sound in it. Sounds like you're in a fish. Okay, I mean, enough of that. It's certainly creepy. I think that's cool enough. It's definitely different a little bit, and I would probably have it around the cool enough. Okay, so let's take a look, see how things, if I'm a little too top heavy here, if I need to move some stuff down. I think I could move these down, these, not the Ganondorf theme, but these three. I just wouldn't go listen to them. Like, I wouldn't pick them out, or even maybe even know that they were necessarily from this game. I think everything past that I probably would. Uh, I would say, because I consider moving these down, these like shop inside a house shooting gallery, barely not awesome, but I do the way that they play, I think is awesome, and they need to be there. So that makes sense. Going up to the Supremes, let's double check here. So Kakariko, I would have that up. That's really one of them. Temple of Time, I would have. I would have that right there is maybe fine. Kind of. I really like the theme. It just doesn't vary as much as like Hyrule Field, which has the overworld theme a little bit. Princess Zelda's is good. Zora Domain is really good. Lost Woods. I think that's it. So that's the order for now. I could sleep on it and figure something out different, but I think that's it. Great game. Awesome music. Definitely recommend anybody plays it and or listens to it if they don't otherwise. All right, and that will wrap it up.